Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Leverboy. Okay, I got a real special one for you today. This is another gun that was loaned to the channel by my friend Wyatt. Okay, what we have here is the Ithaca Model 37 pump shotgun, and this one's a 16 gauge. Look how gorgeous this thing is. I mean, I love these old pump shotguns. Let's dive into the history of this sucker. The Ithaca 37, also known as the Ithaca Model 37, is a pump-action shotgun made in large numbers for the civilian, law enforcement, and military markets. It's based on a 1915 patent by firearms designer John Browning, we all know who that is, for a shotgun initially marketed as the Remington Model 17. It utilizes a novel combination ejection loading port on the bottom of the gun, which leaves the sides closed to all the elements. That's something that's real unique to this gun right here. The ejection port is on the bottom, and it's the loading port as well. Following the First World War, the Ithaca Gun Company sought to produce a pump-action shotgun that would compete with the Winchester Model 1912. They used the Remington Model 17 as their model, and they made modifications such as simplifying and cost-saving alterations of the firing pin and the ejection mechanism. The work of the Ithaca designer Harry Howland in 1931 while waiting for related patents to expire. After gearing for production on their new shotgun as the Ithaca Model 33 in 1933, Ithaca discovered a partisan patent that would not expire until 1937, and production had to be delayed in 1937, and it was released as the Ithaca Model 37. While Ithaca did produce some shotguns for the military use during the war, they also produced the M1 1911 pistols and the M3 submachine guns. That's an interesting fact. After World War II, Ithaca resumed production of the Model 37, made in many different models. The Ithaca 37 has the longest production run for a pump shotgun in history. I didn't know that. Surpassing that of the Winchester Model 12. Wow, that's a big one right there. Ithaca has suffered many setbacks in its history and has changed hands numerous times. At one time, the Ithaca 37 was renamed the Model 87, although it was soon changed back in one of the many ownership changes. Production paused in 2005 when Ithaca once again changed hands. Production has resumed in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. According to an article by Ithaca Times dated June 11, 2003, the 1 millionth Model 37 was produced in 1968, and as of 2003, more than 2 million Model 37s have been produced. The Ithaca 37 is the only pre-World War II shotgun still in production. Well, that tells you something right there. This sucker is quality. Okay, loading the Ithaca 37 involves inserting shotgun shells of the proper gauge through the loading ejection port in the bottom of the receiver and pushing them forward into the magazine until retained by the shell stop. The slide release is pressed and the slide retracted completely, then pushed forward. Pulling the trigger fires the gun and releases the slide for reloading. On most models up to 1975, a second sear was installed that would drop the hammer as soon as the gun went into battery if the trigger was in a depressed condition. Thus, holding the trigger down allowed the gun to fire the instant a new round is cycled into the chamber without requiring the trigger to be released. Ladies and gentlemen, we call this slam fire. This feature was called slam fire. Otherwise, the Model 37 operates in the much same way as the other pump shotguns. The Model 37 ejects them downward. This has made the Ithaca popular with left-handed users who may fear hot shells being thrown at them by the other guns. That's funny. Okay, they made a few different versions of them. They made an ultralight, which was an aluminum receiver. They made one called the Deer Slayer. It's a version with a shortened barrel and a rifle-style sighting system. They had one called the Turkey Slayer, a synthetic stock designed for turkey hunting. The DSPS, the Deer Slayer Police Special, was a military police version. They had one called the Stakeout. It was a short version with a 13-inch barrel with a pistol grip stock. The 28 gauge, it was built on a traditional size 28 gauge receiver. And then there was one called the Defense, an affordable 12 or 20 gauge model built for home defense purposes. It featured an 18.5-inch barrel with a 5-round capacity, or a 20-inch barrel with an 8-round capacity. Oh yeah, I want that one. Essentially the same as the Model 37 M&Ps used by the military and police for many years. Okay, the Model 37 was used in the United States Armed Forces in World War II, the Korean War, and especially the Vietnam War, where it gained a great reputation for reliability in the jungles of Vietnam, when generally used by special forces like the Navy SEALs, Army Green Berets, and the largest single users outside the military were the New York City Police Department and Los Angeles Police Department. NYPD used two versions of the Model 37, one with a 13-inch barrel and one with an 18-inch barrel for its highway patrol. The Model 37 was issued by LAPD beginning in the early 1940s and remained in service until the late 1990s. The Ithaca 37 remains a popular choice among civilians for both sport and personal protection. The Model 37 Featherlight has commonly been seen in the hands of farmers and hunters in the Midwestern United States. And that's what we have right here in my hand. I'm pretty sure this was the featherweight edition, but it's in 16 gauge. I forget what you call these forends right here of the pump where you put your hand at, but this is my favorite style of a wood forend right here. I think it's called the corn roll, something like that. Maybe not. I don't know. Put in the comments what you call this forend stock, the official name for it, the style. Okay guys, if you like old guns, I invite you to check out one of my recent videos on these old ones, SKS or the M1 carbine.